Gears of War Annihilation Part 4 Escape. All Ivan remembered was seeing the front of the Raven crashing into the police department. The ensuing explosion sent him and Sarah flying. All he woke up to was a choking feeling of smoke in the air. He could barely see, and he could smell the fire. Sarah! Sarah! He walked around looking for her. He found her about 10 feet away, unconscious, but alive. There you are. Hey, Sarah, get up. You need to run. They're here. He kept trying to wake her up, but to no avail. She was bleeding from the top of her head and seemed extremely dazed. Oh man, this is bad. And as he was looking over her, he could hear footsteps approaching him. He looked up to see one of those humanoid things looking at him.
Dominate!
Smiling, aiming its gun ready to fire. Right when it was about to shoot, he saw a blade pierce right through from its back, straight through its chest. It was Ollie. He appeared from nowhere and lifted that thing up with his retrolancer, slamming it face first into the ground. Hey, are you guys okay? He asked immediately. Ivan shook his head in worry. I am okay, but Sarah, she's in bad shape. She won't respond. Ollie looked over her immediately. Even though you couldn't see his face through his helmet, you could sense that he cared, and that he really wanted to save both of them. Alright guys, I'm gonna get you out of here. He picked up Sarah and lifted her over his shoulder, handing Ivan a pistol. You're gonna need to help cover me, okay? We're gonna make our way through the sewers. The sewers? Ivan responded. It's the only way out, Calmant stated. They already took over the police station. Everyone is dead. It's only us three, and I'm gonna be damned if I let you guys die too. Ivan stared at Ollie and simply asked, why do you care so much? Why are you doing this? I'm not complaining, but if you didn't have to worry about us, you'd get out of here no problem. You're an outstanding gear, and I know you would survive no problem if you didn't have to worry about us. Oliver put his head down and stayed quiet for a second, and he looked back at Ivan. They made their way towards the entrance to the sewers, but as they were walking, he told Ivan a story. See, Ivan, the thing is, one of my brothers was a gear. My older brother. I looked up to him like crazy, and he's the reason why I became a gear. He was a great soldier. Never made it to Onyx Guard, but he was a sergeant. One day, on a mission, he was abandoned by his squad. He told them to leave, and he died alone. No one should have to die alone, Ivan. You don't abandon your comrades. You fight alongside them until the bitter end. I'm not gonna let you die alone. If we die together, standing and fighting. Ivan looked back at Oliver and simply stated, thank you. You're a great man, Ollie. That's my name, don't wear it out, Oliver stated with a little more happiness in his voice. Ollie led Sarah and Ivan to the back part of the police department. See, the thing with these police departments is that they actually have an escape route in the very far end. It leads you directly into the sewers that lead you directly away from any type of conflict. They're a great way to save civilians. They made their way through the sewers. It stunk really bad, but I guess it was better than fighting those things on the surface, right? They made their way through the tunnels for about an hour. Sarah had eventually woken up, and they were able to clean up the blood off her face and her head. She was okay enough to walk now, and they were making their way through. Where are we heading, by the way, Oliver? Ivan asked. We're making our way to the city limits. The battles have been pretty contained in the very center of the city where the most civilians are. But if we can make it to the city limits, we're home free. Okay, Ivan responded. That doesn't sound bad at all. As they were walking, they could hear footsteps, breathing. In the distance, they could see red lights just standing there. Ollie? What is that? Oliver looked right back at Ivan and Sarah. Guys, hide. And as soon as he said that, gunfire started blazing through the tunnels, as they could see about 6 of those humanoid things with the guns running right at them. Oliver pulled out his retro-lancer and started firing. He took cover, but he was outgunned and outmatched. He needed a better way to get a vantage point. Ivan saw that Oliver needed help. They were hiding around the corner, where those things couldn't see them. Sarah was scared and holding onto Ivan's arm very tight like a vice. What should we do? Sarah asked. Ivan looked right back at Sarah and stated, we fight together. And if we die together. Ivan crawled his way through one of the pipes that was barely wide enough to let his body through. He still had the pistol that Oliver gave him, and as he made his way through the pipe, he actually got a perfect flanking point. None of those things saw him standing right behind them. He had about 10 shots in the pistol, and he knew he needed to make them count. He stood there and aimed, shaking, scared. Making sure that he wouldn't miss the shot, he held the pistol really tightly, and he aimed directly for one of those things' heads. He shot, hitting it directly in the back of its head, effectively killing it. They noticed right away, and they started firing right back at him. He jumped right back into the pipe, trying to crawl his way back. Ollie could see that the monsters were making their way towards Ivan, and he didn't want them to catch him. He saw that he had one grenade left on his belt. He pulled it out, and he charged directly at them. Hey assholes! Shoot at me! They immediately started shooting right back at him, all their attention facing directly on Ollie. Some of the bullets hit Ollie in his armor, but he was still going. He jumped directly at the monsters, activating the grenade. You guys are freaking stupid if you think you're gonna kill my friends! The grenade exploded, killing all of those things. Ivan once again woke up to smoke in the air. The explosion was huge. Oliver! Where are you? He was walking down the sewers as he could see someone standing there. Ollie, you're okay! You made it! When he walked up to the figure, he could see it wasn't Oliver. It was one of those things. It immediately grabbed him and started choking him. Thoughts started flowing through his mind. He wasn't strong enough to fight it off. It was too big, too powerful. And he was in the same scenario that his father was, choking to death. Do your worst, you piece of shit! It was laughing at him in his face as it was choking his life away. Out of nowhere, he saw a pipe hit it directly in the back of its head. It fell to the ground, and someone started striking it over and over and over in its head, crushing it. He looked up. He thought it was Oliver again. It was Sarah. She had saved his life. Are you okay, Ivan? Yes, I am. Thank you, Sarah. I'm glad that you made it. Where's Oliver? I don't know, Sarah said with sadness in her voice. Not too far from them, they could see Oliver's helmet floating in the water by itself. Ivan ran to it very quickly. No. Ollie. They were sad and staring at it as it was floating by. Out of nowhere, they see a hand stick right out of the water. Grab the helmet and put it on. It was Ollie. Oh, that was a close one, guys, Oliver stated. Damn it, Ollie, you scared us. Are you okay? Yeah, the blast sent me flying about 6 feet away, but I'm okay. Thank God. They stared at each other, laughing, happy that they all made it. As they were making their way through the sewers, away from the battle, they could hear rustling. Something different. It didn't sound like walking this time. It sounded like something crawling on the walls. And then they heard the shrieking.